Hi Cancer, welcome to your 2016 forecast. 2016 is new year, new beginning. We start off with all of the planets moving direct, which doesn't happen that often. And so there can be this urge starting at the end of December, the planets of this year, 2015, they're moving direct from the 26th to the 4th of January. So we really enter into this new year with a lot of exuberance to move forward. Yeah, on the 4th, Mercury goes retrograde. It's not about not starting new plans, but being realistic that sometimes we start things and it's just a natural course of event that a few weeks later, different life can get in the way and hold us up from continuing what we start. And there's things that we don't want to do all the time anyway. Think of a certain strict fasting thing or juice cleansing, right? You don't want to do that 365 days out of the year, and it can be appropriate. So use the Mercury retrograde with doing something that can be appropriate to do again when Mercury goes retrograde the next time. And it's going to go retrograde 4 times this year, all in earth signs for you. And the message with these Mercury retrogrades is all in harmony, and it's connected to this beautiful Jupiter-Pluto trine, which wants things big, wants to move things forward with looking at what your big thing in life is so important to you. So think about that. And in the beginning of the year, with this Mercury retrograde in Taurus can be part of it, and they're all in their signs, so that's a little bit on the practical side, but also the material side of life. Do I have the things in my life that make me comfortable? So rethinking that. What is the big thing, the big accomplishment, my big dream that I have for me this life, and how can I always add to it a little bit more, move a little bit closer to it this year? In terms of your career, there's change that is being activated in April, in July, and again in October time, and then again at the very end of 2016. So there's activation that's happening actually 5 times this year, because it starts right off at the beginning of the year. Now, the activation of changing career is more specific if you were born between the 12th and the 17th. And sometimes this is just a restless energy. I'm restless to do things. I'm restless for change. If you got a great job going, if you like your job, or don't necessarily change it just because you're restless, because it might not be about the work you're doing. Only you know if that's true for you. It might be that your higher self just wants a change, wants to do something different, and it doesn't necessarily have to be the career, but it could be in your love life, it could be in your home life, maybe a move is in order. It may be more connection with friends is in order. Some people, and this is activated in your chart too, it could be some connection with people that you knew way back in childhood or high school or college where you were learning together. That some place where you learned together, and going back and reaching out and connecting them and finding the time to be able to connect with others. Now, there's also, in terms of your financial energy, some of the financial, I call it financial activation, where you might feel like spending a little bit more money. That comes in July, or starts in June, around June 17th. And it continues through the July 2nd. So that time you can feel like a little bit more freer around finances, wanting to purchase things. There's other times too, but those times are more significant of having, a feeling of, more freedom to spend money. And also, one of the reasons why is because Venus will move into your sign in June 17th. and June 17th to July 12th. And that can be, that's a nice energy for you. There's several aspects this year that are very significant. One is a Saturn Jupiter square. The other one is Saturn Neptune square. Both of these energies deal with our dreams, what we want, and the reality of whether or not we can make them happen. And this can impact you specifically. That has to do with, in order, like the messages from the universe, they come through and they give us hints to know what to do for the larger message, which is how do we make these dreams happen. And for you, it has something to do with communication. It has something to do with being able to be patient and figuring out the details of little things to learn, whether it's a computer program, whether it's software, whether it's how to do something in a hobby, the technique of it. You know what's right for you. And then there's another way that's saying the opportunity for you to manifest your dreams is also going to come up through communicating more in detail how you feel, what you think. There's something about looking at a different way to communicate, to express your feelings, in order for others not only to understand you better, but even for yourself to understand why you might feel resistance to something, why you might feel blocked in something, and to release those blocks so you can manifest your dreams. So part of that is, okay, let me look at my ways and means of thinking and communicating. There's this energy is very strong from March. March is a strong time. June is another strong time. Getting things together. It's really probably especially strong for you in June. And that can be a time of spiritual cleansing, releasing. Okay, I need to release this. I need to let go of that. And then another time of seeing how well you've done that work, how well you've perhaps practiced communicating in a different way, in a stronger way. You'll see the manifestation of that by September. And also this birthday energy for you, this, in your birthday month, there is this Mars, we got this Mars energy happening in April, where Mars goes retrograde in Sagittarius and goes back into Scorpio and goes direct June 29th in Scorpio. That's a water sign. You're a water sign. So and Mars will be in Scorpio for several weeks this year. You will feel it especially in May, June, and July. That is putting effort and energy into the things that you love. Now, it might also be being a little bit more aggressive with your lover. I really want to do this. Why can't we do this? Let's make this happen. Are you here? Are you with me or are you not with me? Are you committed or are you not committed? What do we have together? If you're in a long-term relationship, then it can be more about doing things or reconnecting in a stronger, more passionate way. If you're dating, then it's like, what's going on here? Not wanting just to know, cut to the chase, get to the bottom of it. Are we in a committed relationship? Do we have it together or not have it together? And cutting your losses, so to speak, to move on to another possibility in love and romance. It's also a very good time of expressing yourself creatively. So your creative self-expression, which is the theme, not just about communicating, which is part of it, but also artistically, doing something that you love to do, whether it's dancing, whether it's art, we all have our own way of being creative. As we move through the second half of the year, when we get into September, it's a very active month. We have 2 eclipses, and we have Jupiter going into Libra. And Jupiter going into Libra can bring you more expansion. You might finally get your home the way you want it, your room the way you want it, just very beautifying it. And maybe some more connections with family or people that you feel close to. They're like family to you. And having more peace at home. Feeling that, your home front is more balanced, perhaps having more balance in your home. Also in September, like I said, it's the end of that Saturn-Neptune square, about manifesting your dreams, letting go of where you've been disappointed and putting effort into what you can do to make your dreams come true, make your vision come true. And then Pluto on the 26th of September goes direct. And that movement, now if you were born either on the 7th, 8th, or 9th of July, there may be circumstances in your life where you feel that you want to take more control of your life. I want to be more in control of this. I want to, manifest really strong. It's like, I want this and I don't want that. But there could be some circumstances that are outside of your control, that the way in order to move beyond it is to let go, is one, to acknowledge we can't control everything. Things happen in life. And making peace with what is, letting it go, and then being able to move on. And being able to do that can be extremely empowering. And that energy, especially if you were born those days, you could feel that message stronger, the end of September. As we move into November, Neptune goes direct in Pisces, the other water sign. If you were born around the end of June, beginning of July, you might feel more creative at this time. It's November 19th. But there's another significant, what's called aspect, planetary energy, November 24th, and that's with Jupiter, which has gone into Libra, remember, squaring Pluto. We've had this beautiful Jupiter trine Pluto through the first half of the year. And the Mercury directs have been activating that. And for you, the activation, again, has been in the communication. It's been with other people and with friendships. And finding a flow with your relationships through communication. Now that we get to the square at the end of November, it's the aspects always go back to the conjunction. Jupiter-Pluto conjunction, which wants things big. What's my big dream in life? And the square is like, okay, let me activate it. Let me do something about it. This is how I always wanted something to do. And then we get to the end of December of 2016. Jupiter is opposite Uranus, and Uranus is station going direct. And what that means is there's just all this exciting energy. And it's about being able to manifest your own individual, can be very spiritual awakening and acknowledgement of the uniqueness of who you are and what you came onto the planet for your thumbprint, for you to do, for you to be. Thanks so much for listening, and please subscribe. There's a button down there somewhere. So you can find me again. I'm at the bottom of the line in Google's eyes. And also, if you would, leave me a comment. Tell me what you think and what your dreams are for 2016. Thanks so much.